Hello everyone, it's your casual gamer Meep here and welcome back to the channel. Continuing the top 5 build series, I decided it's time for me to do one of my current mains, which is the Legion. I don't know why, but I've had a lot of killer gameplay as them, and have been enjoying Feral Frenzy's ability to pressure multiple survivors in a short period of time. These builds are designed to take advantage of their various add-ons, and will vary based on fun, effectiveness, and overall lore. If you enjoy the video, consider leaving a like as it helps promote the video through YouTube, and consider subscribing for more content. Now, onto the builds. With the Legion, they have the potential to snowball in games with their ability to quickly damage multiple survivors in a short period of time, usually that is. This build is called the League of Slugs. It is simply designed to slug all 4 survivors. For this build, you'll need the Iridescent button and the Deface Smiley Pen add-ons. When you go into Feral Frenzy with the Iridescent button, it'll make your tear radius affect the entire map, and vaulting pallets in Feral Frenzy will also cause them to instantly break. The Deface Smiley Pen applies the Mangled status effect, which makes it take longer for survivors to heal, but that is only if they are hit with Feral Frenzy after being revealed by Killer Instinct. The perks for this build include Deerstalker, Hex the Third Seal, Hex Undying, and Coulrophobia. Deerstalker is so you can keep track of your slugs by seeing their ores within 36 meters of their location. Hex the Third Seal is a hex that applies the blindness status effect to survivors whenever they're hit with a basic or special attack. Feral Frenzy attacks are special attacks, and because you're able to chain hits with Feral Frenzy, you can apply Third Seal to more than one survivor quickly. This is to hinder the survivor's ability to find and pick up their slug teammates, and make it easier to keep them on the ground. Hex Undying is to keep the Third Seal up longer by being the first hex totem to break if or when the survivors cleanse one of the two. It acts as a bit of an insurance policy, more or less. Coulrophobia, on the other hand, applies a 50% action debuff to healing when survivors heal inside your tear radius. This is meant to synergize with the Iridescent button, making your tear radius affect the entire map, because Coulrophobia is also applied map-wide while in Feral Frenzy with this add-on. By keeping the survivors blind and unable to locate their teammates, combined with the pressure of keeping them injured with Feral Frenzy and making it difficult to heal, you should be able to slug all the survivors with this build. For an ultra-aggressive playstyle with the Legion, the Living on the Edge build will be up your alley. You'll want to use both ruler add-ons to recover your power faster, or your power recovery to go into your power more often, so you can sprint across the map and to chase survivors more with it. The Etched ruler reduces the recovery of Feral Frenzy by 3.5 seconds, and the Scratch ruler does it by 2 seconds. The default time it takes to recover from Feral Frenzy from an empty power gauge is 20 seconds, so these add-ons have a nice effect to it. Perks for this build include Brutal Strength, Enduring, Spirit Fury, and Jolt, formerly known as Surge. This is a feast or famine kind of build in which you really don't have a way to slow down the game, but instead you're focused on ending chases quicker. Brutal Strength increases the speed at which you break pallets, breakable walls, and kick generators up to 20% faster. Enduring decreases pallet stun durations by 50%. And with Enduring, if a survivor goes to camp a pallet against a Legion while in Feral Frenzy, it'll be quicker to be stunned out of Feral Frenzy with Enduring than if you were to end Feral Frenzy manually. So needless to say, take that pallet in stride. And after destroying 2 pallets, Spirit Fury activates. The next time you are stunned with the pallet is immediately destroyed and you're stunned like normal, but because you have Enduring, you're almost able to instantly attack out of Spirit Fury. Jolt, on the other hand, is here as the edgy slowdown perk. Anytime you down a survivor with your basic attack, which is the only way a Legion can down someone, all generators within 32 meters of your location explode and instantly regress by 8%. If you're able to end chases quickly, then this is the build for you. However, if you're one of those people who think the Legion is one of the worst killers and are tired of getting quote-unquote gen rushed by survivors, this slowdown build is meant for you. You'll need the Deface Smiley Pen from earlier and the Legion Pen. The Legion Pen makes survivors who have been revealed to you with Killer Instinct and damaged with Feral Frenzy broken for up to 60 seconds. This is basically to disincentivize them from wanting to heal at all, so you can keep them injured the entire trial. The perks are Scourge Hook, Pain Resonance, Jolts, Thanatophobia, and Dying Light. Scourge Hook Pain Resonance spawns 4 Scourge Hooks around the map, and anytime you go to hook a survivor on one of those 4 hooks, the generator with the most amount of progress on it will explode and instantly regress by 15%. Any survivor working on that generator when it explodes will also scream and reveal their location, so the perk offers a little bit of tracking to it as well. Jolt is here again, and like Pain Resonance, they are used for the short-term and immediate slowdown of the game by instantly taking chunks of progress away from generators whenever they go to activate. Thanatophobia applies a 5% action speed debuff to survivor actions, including generator repair speed, which is the focus of this build, for each injured, hooked, or dying state survivor. Because of Feral Frenzy being able to injure survivors quickly, and with the add-ons making it really hard or really difficult for them to heal, you'll be getting a lot of value from this perk in particular. Dying Light, on the other hand, functions similarly to Thanatophobia in the build by being a passive long-term slowdown effect. Each time you hook a survivor who's not the Obsession, you gain a token. Each token decreases survivor actions, including generator repair speeds and healing, by 3% per token. Meanwhile, the Obsession is unaffected by Dying Light, and they actually gain a 33% increase to their healing and unhooking speeds. So while the other survivors are afflicted by the perks and slowdowns, the Obsession is their most valuable asset to counter the build and the add-ons. So no pressure to the Obsession, but there's pressure, needless to say. I think you'll find with this build you'll have more time on your side than you had before. This next build is kind of confusing, but surprisingly effective. The reason it's confusing is because it utilizes perks that alter your Terrius as the Legion that affects both you and the survivors. For this build you'll need the Stolen Sketchbook and the Mural Sketch. Both these add-ons increase the duration of your Feral Frenzy. The Sketchbook does it by 2.5 seconds and the Mural Sketch does it by 1.5 seconds. The perks are Monotone Abuse, Hex Plaything, Trail of Torment, and Hex Retribution. Monotone Abuse decreases your tear radius by 8 meters when you're not in the chase, allowing you to get closer to survivors but before they can react. It also increases your tear radius by 8 meters while in chase. While in Feral Frenzy, you can increase the range of Killer Instinct because you can detect more survivors because of Monotone Abuse's increasing your tear radius. By using both duration add-ons in most situations, you should be able to chain Feral Frenzy to more than one survivors. In most situations, that is. Hex Plaything, on the other hand, creates a Hex Totem whenever a survivor is hooked for their first time. For the first 90 seconds, only that particular survivor is able to cleanse their own totem. And until they cleanse that totem, they'll suffer from the Oblivious status effect, meaning they won't hear the Terries at all, and so they won't hear you coming while you're in Feral Frenzy. It also acts like a secondary objective for the survivors as a small slowdown to them. Trail of Torment activates whenever you go to kick a generator. You become undetectable until either that generator stops regressing, or you damage a survivor. The generator is revealed to all survivors in a yellow aura. This can allow you to sneak up onto survivors, and if you go into Feral Frenzy and stab a survivor, you'll lose the undetectable status effect, and Killer Instinct will work like normal in Feral Frenzy. Hex Retribution causes a survivor to suffer from the Oblivious status effect for 45 seconds whenever they go to touch any totem, and if they cleanse a Hex Totem, all survivors will have their auras revealed for up to 15 seconds. So needless to say, this is used for information, especially as they go around cleansing their Hex Playthings one by one. Needless to say, because the Legion is a Terror Radius based killer, messing with the Terror Radius a lot of the times is going to be kind of confusing for the survivors, especially because of the Oblivious and undetectable status effects. As for the Legion's lore-based build, I'm going to be presenting it from Frank's perspective as he has the most amount of lore when compared to the other members of the Legion. Frank Morrison grew up mischievous, and he would frequently lash out, getting into fights and throwing tantrums. Later on relocating to the town of Ormond and meeting the other members of the Legion, being Susie, Julie, and Joey, Frank's list of mischief would only make things worse for them. The mischief list increases the duration of Feral Frenzy by 1 second. This mischief would take the form of nightly debauchery, and soon one night, because of a dare when Frank dared Joey to vandalize the store he had been recently fired from. Little did they know there was still one employee left inside when they were going to vandalize it. When the cleaner employee grabbed Julie in response to them trying to vandalize, Frank let his instinct take over and plunged his knife into the cleaner's back. Frank made them finish what he had started. What united them at this point was that filthy blade that they each stabbed into the cleaner's body one by one, ultimately killing the employee. The Filthy Blade add-on increases the time at which it takes to mend from Feral Frenzy attacks by 2.5 seconds. As for the perks, growing up with a bleak childhood, Frank still had the ability to light up any room. Later on, when he moved to Ormond, everyone at the parties he went to, which were thrown by Julie at the time, were all easily impressed by Frank. This is to them being starstruck by Frank. Starstruck activates whenever you go to pick up a survivor. While carrying a survivor, all survivors within your Terror Radius suffer from the exposed status effect. This lasts for up to 30 seconds after leaving the Terror Radius, or whenever the killer is no longer carrying a survivor. As demonstrated with his outbreaks of fighting growing up, to letting his instincts take over by plunging his knife into the store cleaner that one fateful night, Frank is driven by passion in achieving his goals, and has persevered through many hardships. One might call this grit. Mad Grit activates when carrying a survivor. You suffer no cooldown for missed attacks, and successful attacks pause the wiggle progress of the carried survivor for up to 4 seconds. Because their butchering of the cleaner was done in the heat of the moment through passion, it was sloppy in its nature. Sloppy Butcher applies the mangled and hemorrhage status effect to survivors whenever they're hit with basic attacks. And as the leader of the Legion, Frank is unrelenting in his control over the group and what he asks of them. Unrelenting increases the recovery of missed basic attacks by up to 30%. And with that being said, we've come to the end of the video. If you made it this far into the video, tell me who your favorite member of the Legion is in the comment section down below. I am Me3, and I will see you next time. Goodbye for now.